Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Noah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me. I appreciate it. So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I am Sarah Bouvier. I am wife to Doug Bouvier. So he works at Natick Fire and he's a captain at Station One. We have two little boys, Thomas and Henry. Henry is almost 6 and Tom just turned 3. And we live in Rosendale, which is a neighborhood of the city of Boston. And I work full time, mostly from home, which is really nice, in human resources, specifically like employee benefits for RTX Corporation.
Cool. How long have you been working there?
Just a year and a half. Before that, I worked for Mass General Brigham, which has more local roots. And I worked there for 10 years.
Wow. How do you like the new company in comparison?
It's good. It's great. It's very different. So not so much different from moving from large employer to large employer. So the employee benefits world is small when it comes to health insurance, retirement. You kind of see a lot of the same familiar faces because there's only so many companies and so many people within those companies that deal with large clients. So lots of familiar faces. But what was really different was moving from nonprofit to for profit. And there's a lot more travel with my current role.
What kind of places do you go?
Sure. So this year I have been to Puerto Rico, Chicago, Texas, Austin, Texas. It's kind of a hodgepodge. Ends up being, and mostly Farmington, Connecticut. So my team is based in Farmington, Connecticut. So I end up doing a lot of trips there just to meet in person with either the team or vendors. Ends up being about like 40 days a year.
Okay. Do you like that?
The first year was definitely transition. It was hard. I didn't know exactly how it was all gonna flow. As you know, Doug's work, like it can be flexible. So that was really something I had to think about and take advantage of when I started kind of scheduling these different trips. But kind of this is like the second year. I'm coming up on almost 2 years in September, and we just got through kind of what I dictate as like travel season. And this second time around, it was much more, I'll call it like mentally relaxed. Um, and I could actually like be there as opposed to just being worried about what's happening back home or, all of the anxiety leading up to the trip of planning and making sure everything's going right. I feel like the whole ecosystem that we've built kind of got more comfortable with it, so I got more comfortable.
That's great. So
Yeah.
it goes to show that Doug really knows what he's doing when he's home. So anytime he
Yes,
tries to get
it's
out of
better.
it,
Exactly.
do you get to explore the places that you go, or is it really just
No,
business?
it is truly business. And, you know, better for worse, I feel like it's very much like a first world problem. But when I'm going on these conferences, they're at really nice places where
Yeah.
sometimes you don't even have to leave I'll call it like this hotel compound. Like they have all the restaurants right there. They have, beautiful private spaces that the company is renting out. And, there's lots of things during the day, like in the different conference centers and networking that happens. But yeah, there are many times like I went to San Diego earlier this year and we didn't really leave the hotel and we were there for like 3 or 4 days. But yeah, not a whole lot of traveling happening with
Wow.
it around or exploring.
So do you consider those places somewhere that you've been, like when you're checking off your map? Do you count it?
I count it with Henry because he is very interested in knowing like we put out a map before I go. He wants to know exactly like where I'm flying from, where I'm flying to, and he is so interested. Like he like wants me to talk about it and like to, and then he decides if it's somewhere he wants to go, which I think
Oh,
is like a very funny aspect to this whole thing. But yeah, so he loves it. And he understands it now. He knows that I'm leaving and I'm coming home. And I think that also kind of goes with like the second round, right, of travel season, where he and Tom both understand what it means. Like I'm not leaving forever. I'm just gone for a few days and I come back.
Right. Yeah. Do you ever do anything with them on like shift night? Like I've been trying after talking to somebody, I've been trying to do like dinner in our little pink princess tent in the toy room when Robbie's at the firehouse. Do you do stuff like that with them?
I try to once a week or once every other week have like a special kind of like friends dinner. Like we have this community of moms who not all of them are firefighters, but some are police officers, some are they work for the city or for DCR for the city, and they just have weird schedules where they're
Mhm.
not necessarily home at night. And I very much am on the thought process of having like a community
Yeah,
and that
of
it's
course.
easier, right, to manage a lot of that alone time to be with like other families that, are also kind of having that alone time. So I definitely make an effort to when I meet someone, I have that connection, whether it's through, school or their daycares or just people we've met along the way, to try and put out that olive branch and either have people like at our house or we'll go to a park and have a picnic or, d different activities. But there's definitely something so that I don't want them to like feel like they're like alone. I don't know. That's like a weird thing I've kind of put together in my head.
Yeah, that makes total sense. The reason I ask, I mean, that sounds lovely, but the reason I ask is I wonder if Doug does the same when you're gone. Now he has that, the roles are reversed a little bit.
So Doug definitely enjoys hanging out probably more with his family. So like during that time, like he's like, okay, Sarah's away. Like, can I get up to Rockport to see my parents? Can I like make plans with my brother in New Hampshire? He's really good from that aspect. But from when it comes to like reaching out to like friends or like neighborhood people that we have here, that first year of travel, like I was setting that kind of stuff up. I was like, this is what they're used to. This is, this is going
Of
to be
course you
easier
were.
for you, right?
Right.
Like trying to like set that stage. And he kind of just had to figure out what worked for him. And, I think he may get there because he's commented, he's just like, once you get into a rhythm of either with like same or similar families, like having that time where like it's just like dinner and like watching TV and like that togetherness is something. It helps.
It definitely helps. I mean, it can feel so much less overwhelming when you have that community, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? 24 hours is not so bad, or whatever that shift may be. It's not so bad when you have something to look forward to and people to do it with, right?
Right.
How did you and Doug meet?
We met in college. We both went to Suffolk University, and I was on the women's basketball team, and Doug was on the men's basketball team. So um, we met through, he was doing work study with some of my roommates because lots of athletes kind of did the same work studies. And yeah, they just, kind of organically we became friends and then we made it more serious.
That's great. Wow. So how long have you been together?
So this is something you might have to take out because I am not sure.
I'm not going to take it out.
We have been together since I was 20 and I'm 41 now. So
Okay.
21 years.
There
Yeah.
you go. Wow. That's great. When did you
I
get
should
married?
know that because it was 20 years. He definitely, he's so good with the dates. I am so bad. So he definitely told me about the 20 years this past November. So I should know that. We got married. We had been together for like 9 years. I want to say we got married in like 2014, I
You
think.
want to say you don't even
It
remember
was
what year you
around
got
there.
married in, Sarah?
I am so bad. I literally, what I'm picturing in my head is like a plaque that's downstairs that someone got us for like a wedding present.
How old were you when you got married?
30. No, 29. because we have a really small wedding at Jamaica Pond, just our parents and our
Uh-huh.
siblings, 10 people, I think total. And then that was in October. And then we had like a celebration party in downtown Boston at the Marliov. It's a restaurant that's not open anymore, but I used to work at. And that I turned 30 the night before that party. So
Wow.
that's how the timeline works in my head.
There you go. Well, so then, okay, that does put you about 2014, I think. If it was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. That's that's really funny. I don't think I've ever met someone who doesn't remember what year they got married. Oh,
It's to me, it's like all fluid. I've like
yeah.
it's funny because Doug also will say things that like register more in my head. He'll say things like, I've spent more of my life now with you than I have without you. And, I resonate with that. I'm just like, I don't remember, what it
Yeah.
was like before then. And just so much, in life and in this world has changed that in my head, I'm kind of just like, yeah, I've always been together with Doug.
Yeah.
It's this like everlasting thing.
Like everything before that is gone, ancient history.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I can relate to that. So you've been a firewife for quite some time. Was Doug,
Yeah.
so no, you met in college, meaning he wasn't a firefighter yet, right?
You're right.
Did you know he wanted to become one?
Yes.
What did
Yes.
he study?
And so he studied first he was in economics,
Okay.
and then he moved, I think, to just like a general business degree. He graduated with that and immediately went to paramedic school. And I just remember being like, why didn't you just go to paramedic school?
Yeah. Well, I get the college tuition debt.
Well, if you had like no interest in ever doing that, right?
Yeah.
But, that's like how we were brought up. So I
Yeah,
get
like
it.
you go to college, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he did that. He went to paramedic school. He worked for Cataldo for a while. And then he took what is it called? It's not civic union,
Civil union.
civil union test. And he got a card
Is
for
it
a few
civil union
places.
or is that when people get married?
Yeah, civil
No, it's not
union.
civil union. No, it's not. That's when people get married like by the state. What is, oh my God, Sarah, what is it?
I don't know because I feel like it was such common
Oh my
phrase in our
God.
house for so long. Like, how can I not remember that?
I don't know. And now that you said civic union, like it's no, I'm never gonna.
Well, maybe it's a civic union. I don't
No,
know.
no, it's not. I have no idea what it's called. Anyway,
What
so
is
the
it
test
called?
to get on
The
to
test to get on. I don't know what it is. He took that test
this might be
and
the hardest I've ever laughed during one of these podcasts. I can't believe we're forgetting the word right now. You would think it's
oh,
like 2 in the morning right now. That's how I'm
right.
feeling.
It might as well be. It's 5 of 8.
That's it. Like we're
I mean, I
done.
don't know when your day started. I started at like
Long
quarter
time
to
ago.
6.
Yeah, a
Like,
long time
I'm
ago.
exhausted.
It'll come
Well,
to me. Anyway, so
and
he
you
took
can
the
cut this part
test.
out, but
Okay.
like it's all they're talking about their negotiation right now. Like
I
it's
know. Like,
very much
how
in
are
our
we
house
not?
right now. Like
I know,
I should know
same.
this.
I know.
Mm.
Wow, I'm losing it. Oh
Mm.
my goodness.
Okay.
Okay.
We know he took a test and he started getting cards and he knew from the beginning because he already has paramedic. He was like, I want to be part of a fire department that has paramedic as part
Okay.
of the role. And Natick was one of the first cards he got. And we were
Okay.
living in South Boston at the time, renting. And I just remember being like, no, well, no, sorry, that timeline got mixed up.
It's called
So,
civil service. I
okay.
wasn't even listening to anything you said. It was called civil service.
Okay.
The
I'll
civil
start
service
again so we
test.
can cut out that whole part.
No, no,
Uh,
no. Keep going. Keep going. This is about the
so,
listeners. It's not about me. It doesn't matter if I'm. Go ahead.
so
Sorry.
he
So,
took the
yeah.
civil service test, yeah, and he
Okay.
started getting cards.
Okay.
And
Got on Natick. Yep.
he got on Natick. We were actually living with his parents in Reading because we were saving up to buy a house.
Okay.
So we were saving for our down payment. And
It's kind of a hike from Natick, isn't it?
it is,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like 45 minutes at
Yeah.
least. And he got on Natick, and at the time there was that rule of 10 miles as the crow flies. And
Oh yeah.
he actually was part of the hiring process with Rob. I don't know if you remember that. They
Yeah,
got on at
he
the same
so
time, right?
yeah, so Robbie got grandfathered in.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
I don't know how that can be because if they got on at the same time, why was Doug not grandfathered in?
He probably was.
Yeah, so just to clarify,
Yeah,
that's people can't live outside of 10 miles away from the station. And so
exactly.
Reading was obviously much farther than that.
Yes. And we had a certain timeline. I forget what it was. Maybe it was like 12 months or 6 months where we had to at least have an address that was closer
Yeah.
to
Hmm.
Natick. And, or maybe it was more like just kind of pressures from the department, right? To be like, you should, live closer to Natick because we're not going to force this, but this is part of, you know,
Yeah.
our rules. And we looked at all of the towns surrounding Natick and we were like, wow, we could never afford to live here. We were like kids. We're
Yeah.
like, okay, Wellesley, Needham,
Yeah.
even Natick itself, we were like, oh my gosh, we can't do this. And then I'm a city girl. I have always lived in a city, always grew up in a city. Living in Reading was like an enigma. Like I was just
Yeah.
like this is fun to like be here for a moment, but like I really, want to get back to a city. And Rosendale ended up being, as the crow flies, right within that 10-mile
Wow.
radius.
Hmm.
So we bought a house in Rosendale that completely needed to be redone, but the bones were good and we could live in it as we were redoing it. And we're still here now.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, Robbie has
Yeah.
helped with some of that work.
I remember
Sounds amazing.
yeah, I remember because he was telling me, he's like, I'm never going to work in Boston again. It was you guys and then Eric Williamson, only because the
Yes.
permits take forever and there's no parking. So he's super hesitant, not because he doesn't love you guys, but just because it's just getting to Boston and we're far from there.
I
So
get it.
it's hard. Yeah.
The
Like you have
permit
to
system is
plan.
ridiculous.
I know you have to plan like 6 months ahead to get a permit or more. I don't know. So it's definitely not as easy as like doing a little job nearby.
Right.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
But do you love it?
I do. I do. I love that we live in like a neighborhood of a city, so we still have that neighborhood feel. We have kind of made our city front yard. We got like a fence that, at first sight looks like why would they do this? It opens up so when it's on its sides, it looks fine. When you close it so that we're able to use like our entire front yard and like the kids are safe and like the balls and all of
Yeah.
the sports things like are safe, there's like huge gaping holes because the driveway goes up.
A
So it
hole
looks very
between the
funny.
gates? Okay.
The so it looks fine when it's like this, but when you bring it out, it's like the ground is like here and the
Oh, oh, well, whatever. If it
there's like
works,
this
then
gap.
who
It is.
cares?
And it's just such like a funny kind of cookie cutter thing that
Yeah.
I think of that we've made that we were just like, okay, like if we're gonna stay here, we have to do this kind of stuff to like we're outdoor people. Like we're gonna want to be in our front yard.
Yeah,
We
of
want our kids to like be able to ride their bikes and like,
course. Yeah.
you know, but yeah, no, it's great.
That's good.
We love it.
Yeah. That's
I can
awesome.
walk to Dunkin' Donuts. That's really like
That's
one of my
that's
top
hard.
things.
Yeah, I think from my house to the closest Dunkin' Donuts, I mean, I can drive in like 6 minutes or 7 minutes, but it's definitely not walkable. So it's very different here in Mansfield than it is in Rosendale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, he went to college, then went to paramedic school and was like, forget
Went to
everything I learned in
Natick.
college, went to
Yep.
Natick. How did you feel about his decision to join the fire department?
He Like you said, I kind of knew from the beginning. Like it wasn't, something he hid from me. He was like, this is what I want to do. This is like what I feel like I've like been meant to do almost. He aligned himself almost immediately from college to get there. Like he just needed to get there. And at the same point that this is happening, he has two other brothers, and one of his brothers is a police officer, and another one is in the army. So they
Oh,
kind of
wow. Okay.
have their like individual lanes of support that they do. And
Yeah.
once he got to Natick and he saw that not only like once you get beyond that initial fire training, right? That's like for 3 months every day. People had other jobs, right? It's the two 24-hour shifts. And we talked a lot about like, well, what is your like side job going to be? Like, well, what
Yeah.
does that look like? And he looked at me and he knew immediately. He was like, I am so interested in medicine. I learned from being a paramedic. He's like, I want to be a nurse. And that was like a kind of like a second hurdle because now he has his full-time job. He's going back to school for a second bachelor's degree because he can't do a master's or even an accelerated program because of his full-time job that he clearly can't leave.
Mm.
So it was a lot, and this was pre-kids, which thank goodness, because otherwise it would have been very difficult. But he did all the swaps. He did, all of the paid time off and vacation, and like he was just I felt like I said, when people see you coming at the firehouse, do they just see you like wheeling and dealing? He's like, that was we were talking about it even like the other day, and we were just like, wow, we like forget.
So you said
Yeah.
that his brothers were both in this of some sort of service.
Yep.
Were his parents?
His mom was a nurse, and his
Okay.
dad worked at a local, it was kind of like a materials place for construction sites and helping with like larger projects. And yeah, so I'm I ask his mom all the time, I'm like, so what did you instill in these boys that like they felt like they needed to give back?
Yeah.
And she doesn't know, but it's
Well,
definitely signs of she did something
she
right.
was a nurse, right, for sure.
Yeah.
She probably inspired them more than they realized. I mean, I'm sure his dad is lovely too, but nursing is, I mean, they're the legitimate heroes of the medical field.
Oh
Like
yeah.
they take all the shit, they do all the shit work and they don't get thanked for it. So I am not surprised to hear his mom is a nurse and that he was inspired to do the same thing. Makes sense.
Absolutely. And he says all the time, he's like, I kind of wish I like realized it like a little bit earlier
Yeah.
that
Oh well.
that's what I wanted to do. And I'm like, yeah, well,
He's a
hindsight
well-rounded
being
person now.
2020. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He learned a little bit about the economy. That's great. What about you? Do you feel like you knew exactly what you wanted to do, or was that a little roundabout as well?
Definitely roundabout. I had no idea. When I was in college, my major was public relations, and I had this kind of like idea of what public relations was. And I didn't even think through kind of like some of the things that would make someone really good in public relations, right? Like, so you probably want like an extrovert and you want someone that like has all this energy and that's out there, and like I could not be further from me. I think you know that. Like I'm like I am an introvert. I talk to the people that I know, and like I try and be friendly to everybody, but I'm not the person that's going up and starting a conversation with someone that I've never met before and like, falling into like all of these amazing stories, right?
Right.
And I'm not like up for publicizing something I either don't believe in or that I don't understand, right? Or are fully behind. So when I got to my junior year, I remember being like, wow, I need to do something with my minor because like there's no way I'm doing public relations. And I ended up minoring in business. I think it was business. Maybe it was accounting.
Another thing you don't
It could,
remember.
I don't remember. I ended up getting an accounting job out of it. So maybe that's just what I
That's
formed in my
great.
head. I think it was a minor in business. But
How do
it
you
was
not remember what you minored in college? Like I told you I don't remember anything, but
I don't remember anything. I could look at my resume and tell you,
no, I
but
don't
I
need to
have
know.
no
I just
idea.
think it's funny. No, no. I believe
I
you,
think it's
whatever you say.
business. I think it was business because I took more courses than just accounting. It was like 6 courses in total, but like at least two of them were like
Cool.
really into accounting. And I was like, okay, I could do this. And I ended up getting a fraud accountant job out of right once school ended. And I did that for 8 months. And it was during 2008 when the recession was like
Oh yeah.
starting.
Mhm.
And I was like, wow, I thought I didn't want to go into public relations. Like this this is even a worse job. I go into like every accountant's office or yeah, lawyers or accountants, and they like hated me instantly. And I
Mm,
was like, oh my gosh, like I haven't even like opened your books yet. Like, and then, I just had some bad experiences and I was just like, wow, I did that for 8 months and was like, could
not
not
worth
have
it.
been worse job for me. And then I went into during college, I worked in restaurants to help pay for tuition and my housing. So I went back to, I had already always kept like a shift or two. So it's not like I was completely removed, but I was just like, I need to leave my job. I was like, is there like a management role or something I can like do when I'm here? And kind of just transitioned into that. So I managed restaurants for 5 or 6 years, and sort of the role that I came into was creating human resource programs. So it was like creating the employee booklet. There was a lot of traction with like the Romney health insurance going on at that time. And you could also start to open like simple IRAs for employees. So I kind of took liberty and like started like building out some of this stuff and was just like, I think this is like what I want to do. And I went to UMass Boston and got a certificate in human resource management. And one of the teachers there worked at Mass General Brigham and kind of helped me through what that career could look like. And I started like right at the ground at Mass General Brigham as call center representative and just worked my way up. And it was probably like the best way that it could have happened. I like fell on human resources,
Hmm.
but through like a kind of very long path.
Yeah. And at least you know that, if you hadn't done those other things, you might have always wondered, like, would I have been good at that or would I have loved that? And now you know, which is
Exactly.
kind of nice. Which is kind of
Yeah.
nice. So you made some big life changes during the 2008 recession and
Yes.
also during COVID. You were pregnant.
I was
What
pregnant.
was
Yes.
that like?
So Doug and I had been trying for a child for like almost 2 years at that point. And we had gotten, I found out that I was pregnant in February of 2019. And in March was obviously when everything closed down. And
2020.
2020. Yes. Okay. It was 2020. So, okay. So I'll start again.
I know, keep going. I just think this is great. You have no
So
concept of time. I didn't know that about you.
it's gone. Well, and like in my head, like for like medical insurances, and like when we refer to it, we call it COVID-19. So in my head, I'm like everything started in
Oh, it's 2019.
2019,
Oh, wow. I never thought about that. Yeah.
but
Okay.
it didn't. Right? I mean, it did, but like
Well,
in
the I think
December,
the virus did, but
right?
it
The
wasn't the
virus.
pandemic yet. Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Okay. So,
So
all right.
February of 2020.
In February of 2020, I found out that I was pregnant with Henry, and we were like so thankful. And we had started to hear about COVID. And at the time, Doug was firefighting and he was at the firehouse, also a paramedic. He was working as an ER nurse per diem at the Faulkner. And there were just so many more questions than answers at that point in March when they started to come out with like what COVID could be and what it was. And when we went into lockdown, we were very worried. We kind of just didn't know what to do or what to expect. And we ended up making a pretty big transition where I moved to Rockport with his dad, and his mom moved into Rosendale with him because she was a nurse at Newton Wellesley,
Oh,
who was
wow.
also being, subject to, the illness.
Hmm.
So we did that for like 8 weeks.
What was
And
that like? Wait, early pregnancy, and you're
yes.
living with your father-in-law in a shutdown.
In a shutdown, in a house that they literally just bought. Like they didn't decorate yet. They haven't like
Oh, wow.
done anything.
That is
It-
brave of you.
yeah, and my dog came with me. So it was really like me, Doug's dad, and our dog Elsa. And we just like made the best of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was certainly different. It was different times and it was that 12-week point was so awkward, right? Because you usually wait till like at least 12 weeks, right? Until you start to tell people.
Uh-huh.
And especially I was like so nervous that it wasn't gonna, nothing was gonna come of this.
Right.
And like I had to like tell my parents at like I think it was week 7 or 8 because like they would have been like, "Why are you moving to Rockport?" Like, what are you talking about?
Right. Yeah.
And then at 12 weeks, I had to tell my work because we were on a shutdown and I needed like half a day to go into Boston from Rockport to go to a doctor's appointment. And like, they were like, what do you like? Why would you need to go in for a doctor's appointment? Like,
It's
they
none of your
weren't even like
business.
putting
Like,
together.
it's so
No, but like I
strange.
saw all their confusion and I was just
Yeah.
like, I'm pregnant. Like, there's literally no
Yeah.
other reason why I would have to do this. And if I didn't say it, they would have known it, kind of, or
Yeah.
like started to
Yeah.
like
They would have
put together the
fake
pieces.
assumed. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was weird times. It was weird times of
Yeah.
something that, like I probably wasn't like ready to like share and living in this different environment. But I have to say, Doug's dad was a great roommate.
Yeah.
He is. We talk about it like all the time. We think it was like hysterical.
It's like funny looking back at it. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Do
And
you think he reminds you of Doug? Or like, is living with Doug sort of similar as living with his dad?
it it is in certain respects, right? They're both kind of quiet and like they'll like kind of keep to themselves. But the difference between Doug and Doug's dad, I feel like, is that like I grew up in Fall River and his dad grew up in Ipswich, but was like the son of like a railroad worker. And there were just like certain things in like those time periods that like him and I totally like bond on. Like when it comes to like food, like we have like the worst taste in food. Like we're like, let's eat hot dogs and beets. Like let's,
Hot dogs and
like
beets?
the beans.
Oh, beans.
Just
Like, that
just
is
like
really gross.
really
Okay. All
really
right.
weird things that like
Yeah.
we could eat for like days on end. And like when we bring like Doug and Doug's mom into the picture, they're just like, absolutely not. Like what are you guys talking about? What are you thinking? Like just like
That's
grilled
really
cheese,
funny.
like just like very simple, like very I don't know. The things that like were just so normal to me and like normal to him, and we kind of just took those things together.
Yeah. You must be pretty close with him now.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
great. So you say Doug is reserved, and I know that about
yeah.
him just from knowing him, but I will say I have heard about his sense of humor. I've heard that he has a very dry sense of humor, but is one of the funniest people alive. That's what
He
I've heard.
is
Would you agree?
so sarcastic. I would
Yeah,
absolutely agree.
that's what I've
He
heard.
is so sarcastic.
Yeah.
And he just has some really good one-liners
Yeah.
that just stop you in your tracks, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, like I'm just not that fast. I
I'm not
can't
that fast. Yeah.
respond like this.
Yeah.
And he'll catch you for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
really
he'll
funny.
he'll
Yeah.
see the chaos going in a room and he'll be like sitting in the corner and whoever's sitting on the side of him has the best seat in the house.
Is that how he won you over, you think?
Yes, in some ways for sure.
Yeah. And the basketball skills, obviously.
Yeah, he was just he was young and just getting to college, so he was just experiencing a new life, so he was
Yeah.
hysterical. But yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. There is a one-liner that his so he got Robbie with one. And I still hear about it many years later. I guess at some point he told Robbie that he has soft features. And Robbie's like, I've never been more insulted. And he's like, it was just such a good insult because it's like you have to think about it. And he's
Yeah.
like, so this was, I think, years ago, and he still talks about it all the time. I'm like, yep, all right, that's Doug for you. He'll get you.
Yes, and he like manifests these things and he just has like really good timing. It's like when you
Yeah.
like least expect it, it comes out.
Do you feel like he goes overboard? Do you ever think like,
Yes.
can you shut the fuck up, please, and stop being sarcastic?
Yes,
Yeah.
it happens all the time. It happens with his parents all the time. He like pushes their buttons like
Hmm.
constantly with like the most foolish things like you could ever think of.
Yeah.
Like we we are probably adopting a dog pretty soon.
Oh, cool.
And for like no reason whatsoever, he is like peppering his mom, like just to get her anxiety up to be like, will you come to the adoption event with us? Like, will like, is this a dog you would like? You're gonna have the dog half the time. Like, it's
Oh
just
my goodness.
constant. And I'm like, you have to calm down. You have to calm down.
Settle down.
And yeah, he's just sometimes he can be a lot, and I'm just like, you like I am very good with being like it's over.
Right,
Now we're gonna
right,
stop.
right, right. So I'm curious if you have the same experience that I do, because with me, Robbie's the same way. I don't know. Robbie
Oh
thinks
yeah.
Doug is funnier, but I don't know Doug that well, obviously. Robbie cracks me up, but sometimes I'm like, can you please, like, I'm trying to fall asleep, or like I'm doing the dish. Can you just enough? When we were younger, I would start a conversation with him, like a more serious conversation, whatever, and he would just crack a joke, and it used to piss me off.
Yes.
But now I've learned to just be like, ha 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 ha. But also, let's carry on the conversation, right? Do you feel the same way? Do you need to get through like layer one of jokes and then you get to the real conversation?
Yes. I definitely do. And I do know that about Rob. I know that he can like it's like is it would you describe it as like it's his way of like lightening the mood? It's like he's just
You
ready.
know, yeah, it's so quick. And I am not. Like, I
Oh,
honestly, I struggle with understanding jokes just in general. So a lot of times I'll see a meme and I'll be like, I know this is funny, but I don't understand it. So I have to show it to him, be like, why? What does this mean? Right.
yeah.
And so I don't know. There's just like something that doesn't click in my head. But he's just always ready with a joke.
No. And
And he's not emotional at
no.
all, which is good. I guess you have to be kind of less emotional to be a firefighter. But yeah, I think that's his way of just kind of lightening the mood, to your point, but also like, it's not worth stressing about. Like, it really doesn't get to him. It's not like he's trying to deflect. He just is
Right.
really like, it doesn't stress him.
No. No, and
Yeah.
I agree. There's definitely like a layering there. And it probably I haven't thought about it that way, but I think you're right. Like it probably does have something to do with their jobs or like no, there are like certain things that we do, right, that
Yeah.
matter. Right?
Yeah. And
Like,
like they feed off of each other, right? Like they're
yeah,
cracking jokes left and right. They're making jokes about like a dead guy in the corner, which I get. You have to do that, right?
right?
Because otherwise you're going to cry yourself to sleep every night. But sometimes you're like, that's not like a normal, that's not normal. You can't just
No,
like talk that way to people, to
no,
like other humans, because it doesn't, other humans don't
no.
make jokes about dead guys
Yeah,
in the corner. Like,
it's
I
yeah,
remember
it's
he
not that
told me
funny.
about Pat Warren once.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
So Julie's was one of my first guests, right? And Pat, they were at a scene and they said something, and Pat goes, well, she shouldn't buy any green bananas. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, I didn't get it. And he was like, as in she's not going to live long enough for them to go yellow. And I was like, oh my God, who says that
I literally like think about it all the
all the
time. Like
time?
Pat made this comment like 10 years ago.
And I still think about it.
I think about it almost every time I look at bananas. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my God,
You're like, it's too green. I don't know if we'll eat it. I don't know.
should I buy
Yeah.
them?
So,
Like,
yeah.
is my health okay? Like,
Will I make it? I don't know. Yeah, they all do that. I think it has to be a coping mechanism. It has to be. And they're funny, which
absolutely.
is awesome, but like it has
Yeah,
to be part of that.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
What do you think the best part of being a firewife has been for you?
So I definitely think there's a certain amount of pride, right? So I think that I'm very proud to be a firefighter wife. I think that there's the positives outweigh the challenges that can happen. They they show up for work like COVID is a perfect example, right? Like I feel like most everyone was impacted by COVID. And
Yeah,
Doug will tell you, he goes, my life didn't change at all. Like,
right.
yeah, I had to wear masks and like they
Yeah,
put in different protocols. He said, I worked twice a week at the firehouse and twice a week at the hospital. And
that's
like
crazy. Yeah, like there's no change for
that,
him.
no. He
At
and
least not professionally.
right, right, exactly, not professionally. And it's it's certainly a different lifestyle, but it's all too in like how you kind of end up creating your communities, right? Like we have like our native firewives,
Yeah.
right? We have, the friends that we've met through this process. And even though you and I like don't see each other all the time, and I don't see like some of the other firewives all the time, it's like through certain parts of this process, we know exactly what we're all going through
Yeah.
and vice versa, right? And it's just such an interesting difference, I think, from like two spouses that work a 9 to 5. It's a completely different dynamic. And I almost like don't even know what it would be like because we've never had it where like if we did both work 9 to 5, like that would be weird.
Right. Like, what do we do with our time?
What do we, yeah. How
But
much
also,
talking
like,
do people
yeah,
do?
like like I don't miss you, you know? Right?
Yeah,
It would be
exactly.
different. You're right. Yeah. Now, you mentioned that your dad is a police officer, was a police officer,
Was, yep, he's retired.
retired now. What was that like in comparison? So it can't have been completely different, but I'm sure there were some major differences being the daughter of an emergency personnel versus the spouse.
For sure. And he was a police officer in Fall River. So the the true difference I feel like was like my dad was home most nights, right? And like Doug is gone twice, at least twice a week. But I always like kind of knew that he was coming home. And I wonder about that like with the kids, like but it's all they've ever known too. So they probably don't even like think about it or that they don't like ask questions about it. They just know if dad's not home, if dad's at Natick, he comes home like when they're at school, like the next day basically.
Okay.
But it, definitely different as a spouse because there's like a certain amount of like if I didn't want this to happen, I could have controlled for this not to happen, right? Like I clearly am like open to it and believe in it and the all of the important work that gets done and am willing to take on the responsibility at home, right? Because of what their work consists of. So I feel like I kind of remember making that decision because it is a decision, right? Like I knew before getting into this that that's what the likelihood was going to be.
Hmm.
And it would be a little bit different than how I grew up, but it had the same kind of like pride to it that I was mentioning earlier where like it was super annoying being a teenager and my father being a police officer because he was everywhere. But I was just like I don't think I understood it as much then that I was like, no, I'm like happy he's there. Like
Yeah.
no one's gonna mess with me. Like
Yeah.
I am like he would tell me like not to go places and he would like know why he was telling me not to go places. I wouldn't necessarily understand that at the time. So different, but there were certainly similarities.
Right. Wow, that's super interesting. That's
Yeah.
really interesting. Do you think that if you had told Doug no, would that have changed anything? Or do you think you would no longer be married?
Probably the latter.
Hmm.
I think he was just like all in. From by the time I met him, he knew that it he knew that he was going to serve and like he thought it was going to be firefighter. And I think that first Halloween he was a firefighter. And then
For
I was with
Halloween,
it.
like you dressed
Yeah,
up as a
as
firefighter, of course.
just like another really funny thing is like we try and like think through over the years. Doug has a family friend that he grew up with in Reading that is that lives in Natick as a resident.
Okay.
And his daughter, when she was, I think, like 6, told told him, the father, that I'm gonna be Doug for Halloween. And he was like, what? And she's
What's
like,
that?
I'm gonna be Doug, like I'm gonna be a firefighter. And he's like, really gonna be a firefighter? And she's like, no, 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 I'm gonna be a Natick firefighter. Like I'm gonna be Doug.
Wow,
And
very
I was like,
specific.
oh my God, Doug, you're a Halloween costume. Like, wow,
Of all the things to aspire to be,
all
how
the
incredible.
things.
Somebody wants to be you.
Yeah. And I mean, like another like complete like 360 of that like situation when you think about like these little kids and like the things that they're thinking of. Henry's like friends now are like we're he's getting closer with some of his friends,
Mhm,
and one of them just like loves Duck. He's like all in on Duck. And the one of the state trooper that unfortunately passed away a couple of weeks ago now.
mhm.
So sad. And his father's a state trooper, and he said to the mom, he said, how come Doug like couldn't save him? And I literally had like
Oh,
tears in my eyes. I'm like crying. I feel like crying right now. And you know, it's like the pride comes out, but then you're like so sad.
yeah.
And like she had the best answer ever where she just responded back where she was just like, if he came to Boston, like Doug would have saved him. I
Oh,
was like, because
wow.
she was singing like as a nurse, but
Yeah.
the way that like not only like we kind of think through what their lives are, like you see it shine through in these like different ways as the kids grow up and think about it, and it really puts it in perspective.
Yeah. Like the effect he's having on these kids for them to be thinking of him in all of these situations. Like he's not only is he a role model, but just as a person, clearly he makes a great impact on these kids. And your kids are lucky because they're going to have that as their dad.
Well, it's just amazing. I didn't think I was going to come on the podcast to like talk up Doug, and then I'm like thinking about all these
I know.
different instances.
I hate to admit it. I really do. I really do. But this podcast has made me be like, oh, okay. All right. Robbie's pretty awesome. Not because anybody else's husband isn't awesome, but it's just, like I
Yeah.
am so privileged to be able to have my full-time job. And I still exercise and I still do, and not that anybody's spouse has not done that for them, but it's just been a very good reminder for me that yeah, being a fire wife is hard, but we have all these plus sides to it, and
Yeah.
it's been a nice reminder. And it also reminds me sometimes like if he okay, Robbie's the funny one, I'm the sassy one, right?
Yep.
And if he tries to kind of step on my toes and sass me, I don't usually take it very well. But sometimes I have to remember, like, oh, wait, I don't know. I don't know what happened yesterday at work or whatever. And I wasn't very good at that. And this podcast has actually been a good reminder for me to be like, okay, you might just need a minute. Like, I don't think I brought that on. That was maybe something else going on,
Yeah.
at
No,
least for
that
the
is great.
first sassy comment. After that, it's like, okay, settle down.
Totally
So,
agree. Yeah,
yeah,
you
it's a good
kind of have
reminder.
to take the temperature sometimes for
Yeah.
sure when they're like first coming in.
Yeah. Does Doug talk to you about stuff at work?
He does. Sometimes he definitely saves me the details, which I can like appreciate. And sometimes it's delayed. Sometimes he won't talk about it right away. He'll like process it and then he'll bring it up like 3 or 4 days later or a week
Hmm.
later, and he'll just want to like say it out loud. And yeah, well, I don't say much. I kind of just listen because I don't
Mhm.
understand, right? Like all of it's going through outside of the fact that like it was impactful and
Yep.
they see things that I don't see.
Yeah. I
But
mean, I think
yeah.
that's the important part, right? You
Yeah.
listen and you're there for him. I don't think you need to understand the medical piece.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant. And,
Yeah.
is his fire position or his nursing position more, I don't know if traumatic is the right word, but like which one is harder, I guess?
So the firehouse is just more consistent. So,
Okay.
and I think he plays a role at the firehouse, which I don't like. Sometimes he's nurse in charge, like at the Faulkner, but it's not. like consistent enough. Like he'll probably do it like once a month or something. But I feel like he's in these different committees. He is,
Hmm.
I feel like right now is a particularly busy season. He has like RTF, he has the retiree breakfast.
Sure.
He's gonna, yeah, that's coming up. It's like
Cool.
one first weekends of June.
Haven't heard about it,
Oh,
but that's probably because Robbie
because
never
that's not
remembers
the
to tell
name
me
of
about
it.
things. No, but we get invited to a
Um,
lot of events that I never hear about, and so we just don't go because I didn't know. And so
well,
that's
I
why.
will send you the details on this because
Yeah,
we will be there.
awesome. Sounds good.
Firefighter Memorial, that's what it's called.
Oh yeah, I
Not
do know about
reserves.
that. I didn't know what date
Yes,
it was, but I've heard about
it's
that in
gonna be fun.
previous years. Yes, yes,
Yes.
that makes sense.
And then, yeah, he did like I feel like he puts himself into the Natick Fire Department.
Okay.
So that's certainly kind of like top of mind and things that he's continuing to educate himself on and push himself towards and, figuring out where his strengths are.
Yeah, that makes sense. And he's captain, which is pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
What has been the hardest or worst part for you as the fire spouse?
When there's like the long stretches or it's like a time where we're gonna take the overtime, right? You play the overtime game. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah.
play that in your house. It's like certain times
Oh,
of
do
year.
we? Hmm. Oh, do we?
December is usually consistent.
Yep.
Where like dad's just not coming home for like 4 days.
Yep. Yep.
Those kind of times can be hard. And I think that is certainly where I learned from like a trial and error of like having the community because it's easier together sometimes.
Sure.
And what but like some of the nice things, right? Like he especially with having young children, right? Like I feel like as a working mom, the weekends I don't actually get anything done. I have both the kids home and like I feel bad that I have them in daycare or like that they're in school during the week and go to extended day. And I'm like, okay, the weekends are like I need to like focus on like doing the fun things like,
Hmm.
and being there, right? And like connecting with them. But what's really nice is that he has, his like 4 days off may fall like during the week, like this week, I think it did. And he can like do things like, around the house, like
Hmm.
start completing some of those checklist things. So like the flexibility is really
Yeah.
good. And I don't know that I would be as what's a good word to put it? Like I don't know that I would like my job as much as I do if I had like a real amount of pressure for when I have to travel that like he, is in like a 9 to 5 job or like a job that he doesn't have this like
Hmm.
kind of blocks of time off or can't switch with people or like come in late,
Yeah.
come in early, right? So that is certainly helpful for like my current role for sure.
Yeah. I think them having to be there for 24 hours kind of sets us up for success in that way because they have to do dishes there and clean up and cook and this and that. It like trains them to live real life in that way.
Very
And
much,
like,
yeah.
Robbie wakes up before me every once in a while and he'll put the dishes away. And like when I wake up, I need a good good cup of coffee and an hour to like feel like I can do anything. And he just does it like while the coffee's brewing because that's what they do at the firehouse. Like he's like, yeah, we just put the dishes away as soon as we get up or whatever they do.
Yeah,
And it's nice that they do that, right? Like it's
it
not
is.
like I don't think I can't speak for Doug, but I'm sure that they don't see it as like, oh, that's her job.
Right. No,
It's like whoever's able to does it, which is I think how it is at the firehouse probably.
it is, but I will tell you that some of Doug's like one-liner jokes that he thinks is hysterical, and it's so funny coming from him because I know that that's not how he
He
feels.
doesn't believe it.
No, but if we are in a group of people, he will say something that is like, that's a woman's job, and he will laugh hysterically himself, and I'm just like, stop,
Like you're being like, no,
stop.
people are gonna
Like
believe you.
the worst comment, and I'm like thinking about it now that he made for me.
Oh my God.
And I was making a sign to go down to Washington, DC for the first, my memory is so bad. Like what they had like the pink like hats, Women's March, first Women's March. And
Okay.
I cannot say that word on this.
That's okay.
Um,
Was that like a current like in like current administration style?
it was like 2016. It was pre-kids.
Okay. Okay.
And I think it was right maybe when Trump got elected. It was like
Okay.
in January. And I'm sitting there like writing out this sign, right? And I'm like, Doug, do you like it? And I'm sure it's something about like my body and like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he says to me, and I literally almost killed him. He said to me, "Are you sure you don't want that to say, can you open that jar for me?"
Oh my God. And he had that one just ready to go.
He he laughed so hard that he was crying. Okay, he thought that that joke was so funny, and I'm sitting there crying, laughing because I am like,
Because it's funny.
it's hysterical. But
Yeah.
like, I know you don't believe
Yeah.
this.
It's offensive
Like,
and rude, but it's funny.
yeah. And he's like, Sarah, I can't say that outside these walls. And like the only times that like it comes up is like when we're like with his friends. So of course this is gonna
Yeah.
like, but
We're
I
airing the dirty
remember
laundry tonight.
it's fine.
It's fine.
Uh, but I just remember that being one of the moments I was just like, this is 100% like something where like you have been thinking about this, like it
Yeah.
being a good joke, and
Waiting
you
for
just had
that
to
moment.
nail it. Yeah. And it was hysterical. Like
It
I thought it
was,
was
I know.
hysterical.
I remember one time I was talking to Robbie and his brother's wife years ago. And he said something to me about like, okay, now go make me a sandwich. And I literally just like looked away from him and continued the conversation. And his brother was like jaw drops. He's like, I would have gotten slapped for that one. And I'm like, yeah, I'm used to him. Like, it's not, I know it's not true. I know he doesn't mean it. Like, I very much know that. And it wasn't funny. So I didn't laugh, but I just moved
Right.
on. Right.
You're
But
just like,
yeah, if somebody were
oh
to hear him say that, it would definitely give an impression that's very different than our reality.
right, right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny.
Oh
They're all like that, though. They all
gosh.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm putting you on the spot to think of something.
Okay.
But somebody came up with the idea or with the expression shift happens. And I've loved it. So I've been trying to do it, a little segment. Tell me something that has happened while Doug has been at work that you're like, of course, this would happen while he's at work.
Something that happened recently, probably like within the last 2 months. So, as you probably have in your house as well, all of the fire alarms are hardwired and
Mm.
they are put in at the same time and the batteries go at the same time.
Oh, good. Sounds like fun.
And there was a night that I was home with the kids and they would not stop. They were like,
Oh
and
my
like,
gosh.
and like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was like deafening in your
Yeah.
ears.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there like half asleep and like jumping on like random chairs,
Yeah.
trying to like pull out, and like, of course, like, I don't know. It's like the way that I'm wired. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna like fix this. And it's like,
Uh-huh.
I got like 3 minutes in and I am like, just rip it out.
Like I'm gonna
Get it out.
get the hammer.
Like, I don't care what has to happen. These things
I
have
don't
to come
care.
out.
Yep.
And like the kids are up, they're crying. And I'm just
Oh
like,
my
I'm
God.
trying my best.
Yeah. Of course it
And
happens
then,
when the firefighter is not home. Like
of
of
course.
all the things to happen.
And then like not only like so the it all happens, the adrenaline's like going through
Yeah.
and I get them back to bed, like hopefully they're like still, upset. And I get back to bed and I am wide awake because now I'm like, great,
Yep.
none of my fire alarms are working and we're gonna have a fire tonight. And I
Tonight,
just like
of
didn't
course.
sleep.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I was like, I have to be awake.
Just in
Smell the
case.
smoke.
Oh my God. Oh geez.
That would have been a helpful night for him to be
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But also now you know how they feel when their alarms go off overnight. And probably why they
Yeah.
can't sleep very well.
Very true.
Right?
That
Yep.
uh that is a good.
Yeah.
A good reference point.
Yeah, I can fall like, we have kids and whatever. You wake up with the kids, whatever. I lay my head on the pillow. I'm out after, and he's awake for an hour, even if he's not the one who got up. But just like hearing that, and sometimes I'm like, just
Yeah,
go to sleep. But he's like, I can't. Like once I'm up, I have to be up for a while. Like it's just how my body is functioning now. It's how it's programmed now.
completely same with Doug.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
One time though, our fire alarm went off. Robbie was home that time, and this was years ago, and I guess I don't know. I panicked in my sleep. Like I don't really remember what happened, but I hid under him. I like grabbed him and like like latched my body onto him. And I was like froze. I was like, tense and couldn't let go. And then it was like, I don't know how many seconds probably, but like however 30 seconds later, he was like, okay. And I was like, what's happening right now? Like I didn't process. And then he's like, okay, I gotta go turn off the fire alarm. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. But I like held on for dear life. And I don't even think I processed that it was him I was holding on to. It's just like my body freaked out. I'm like, good thing I'm
Oh,
not a
wow.
firefighter. Yeah, I don't know what happened. If I was having a bad dream, maybe, but I'm like, imagine that happened to me every time the tones go out.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
like it would be awful.
Yeah, I would be so distorted. Like I
Yeah,
wouldn't like know what was going on. Like I
yeah.
don't know.
I know. I know. I'm glad I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
It sucks that they do, but in a
Well,
selfish way, I'm glad I'm not the one who does it.
no, whenever like we meet someone new and like, they start asking like I feel like there's like this set of questions, right, that get
Hmm.
asked. They're like, how often does he work? Like, does
Yeah.
he sleep? Da, da, da. Like, there's like probably five or six questions that everyone just asks the first time that they meet you.
Yeah.
And what I always say as like one of my talking points is I'm just like, I could never do what he does.
Mm-mm.
Like, and I don't
Yeah.
want to. Like
Yeah.
that would drive me crazy. I wouldn't be able to function.
Yeah. I'm not sure I could. I think I could do it if it were a day job.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
it's the
It's the
sleep
night
piece.
thing.
It's the
That's
night piece. I
exactly
just
it.
can't. I don't function well. Yeah. I don't sleep well already. So like let alone add that adrenaline and whatever. But if it were a day job, it'd be pretty cool, I think. Like if I could just go sleep at home with no, or if you could just like turn the tones off at night and just do
Yeah.
it during the day and then go to bed, that'd be pretty great.
Someone else will get those.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. That's the next town over's problem. Okay, now what about in terms of you? It's funny you say there's like this set of questions that people ask because I have a set of questions right here that I ask everybody. Do you have any advice that you could give if somebody is deciding their spouse just decided I have a bachelor's in something completely unrelated, but I want to become a firefighter and a nurse? What advice would you give them going into this?
I would tell them that it's certainly a transition, that they first, whenever the nursing injury starts, it's going to be bumpy, and that there's a lot of kind of job security, right, in both of those, and that the tough times get easier. And, they bring on different challenges that, hopefully you work towards together. But as long as like you're having honest conversations and, when something doesn't work, you're kind of voicing that opinion.
Yeah.
I think as long as you still understand that you have an opinion and that that's like reciprocal, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Hmm.
I love that this is the world that we've created. It works for us, it works for me, it works for Doug. And I think it's important to have, you know, support for that spouse too.
Hmm.
Like that no one can do it alone.
Yeah. Right. Which goes back to the community concept, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's so much better when you have other people in it with you,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
But I like that. That's really well said that, you still have an opinion. Your voice still counts.
Yeah.
And yes, the fire schedule can almost supersede other things sometimes, but that doesn't mean that you don't count,
Absolutely.
right? I
There
like that.
there are things that you can control and things that you can't
Yeah.
when you sign up for fire. Like I joke about the overtime, but like that's real and that's like impactful. And
Oh yeah.
if, Doug and I like usually have that conversation right after Thanksgiving that we are like, okay, so December is going to be a blur because
Yeah.
he's
Gonna
going
be
to play
gone.
the overtime game.
Yeah.
And I have to, at the end of the day, be like, yeah, I mean, this is like how we're going to reach our goals and be able to have like
Yeah.
a great Christmas. And like,
Mhm.
it's give and take and kind of understanding, when and how you're going to get to that give and take is important.
Yeah. How do you guys handle that? So, okay, December, he can take all the overtime that he can get. Throughout the rest of the year, what is your system?
So it's pretty cyclical.
Okay.
So he'll do the overtime in like December and then mostly January. And then once we get into February, he starts picking up like his two shifts regularly a week at the Faulkner. But, sprinkled in there are all of the school vacations. So there's
Hmm.
like the February week you can't take time, the April week, and May and June are pretty normal. But then once we get to summer, and all this time we make a true effort that he does not schedule a hospital on the weekends, which is pretty easy because he's per diem, but he's only to work at like the firehouse on the weekends, and he'll only do overtime if it's the night before his shift.
Oh,
So
interesting.
that's like a weird kind of like thing that we've just like worked out with each other.
Yeah.
Um, and then he takes this is something that he's really like enjoyed as being part of this is that he takes the month of August off from the emergency department from being a nurse, and he just works his fire shifts in August, and he keeps the kids home from school and daycare.
Cool.
So he gets, that time with them, and we just figure out like grandparents or
Yeah.
babysitters or like what that looks like the days that he has the firehouse. Yeah. And then September, October, November, he's just like regular at the Faulkner, and then December is full on firehouse.
Yeah. Back at it. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. Every family is so different. Definitely
Yeah.
like what works for you guys would not work for us and vice versa, right? Like
Absolutely.
it's funny.
It
You have
is
to,
very particular for
yeah.
every single person. It's different.
Yeah. And that's, I think, an important piece of it too. Like partners need to come up with a system. It can't just be like, oh, sometimes it's okay to take overtime and sometimes it's not. Like there has to be some sort of rhyme or reason for it,
Absolutely. Yeah.
which I think maybe took us a little bit longer to not longer, but like in the beginning, I would say it was almost like, Robbie loved over before kids too. He like
Mhm.
loved overtime so much and he'd been working for fewer years, so he wasn't quite as like experienced and maybe a little burnt out. And I missed him so much when he was gone and this and that. And so now it's like, okay, I'm more comfortable with him taking it in the way of like, yeah, I'm too tired to miss you that much. Like, go ahead. Right.
Right.
But because we have young kids, but now it's harder for him to take it because of our
Absolutely.
kids and our responsibilities. So I guess what I would say is just kind of going back to the advice piece. One thing that people could consider is, talking about a system for overtime because
Yeah.
going into it, you don't really think about
No.
overtime as such an important part of it.
And
You
it
know,
will take over your life.
it
If
really
like,
will.
yeah. And that's okay too. There are
Yeah.
families that are just like, I'm not going to do the second job and like I want to do the overtime and like go for it. But like it is just different and it has to work for you. And you are absolutely right. There was a like pre-kids plan
Oh,
and
yeah.
there was a kids plan.
Post kids. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And like kids are expensive as shit.
Yeah.
So like you want to take the overtime so that we can pay for the camp or for the daycare. Like
Yeah.
the daycare is insane. So
It's so
yeah,
crazy.
take the overtime. Like I know I miss you. I do miss you, but like we need it and that's okay. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on their union stuff? Because you work in employee benefits, HR stuff.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts when Doug talks to you about like their contract stuff and
Stuff.
union and all that?
So That's certainly something that my probably first experience with unions was through my dad. So when my
Oh,
dad
true.
was a police officer, he was president of the union for
Oh,
the police
cool.
officers. So it was very much like in my household, like I started to understand a lot more about unions. Doug's mom was one of the first nurses on the Newton Wellesley M&A union. So
Cool.
he also has like long roots kind of in the importance of what that brings. So he loves to remind me he's double union. He's like,
Mm,
I'm not just union and Natick, I'm
sorry to
union
bother you.
as a
Okay.
nurse too.
All right.
And he will like jokingly like bring that up all the time because, and right, wrong, or indifferent, it's part of my job, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm constantly being asked, and my current job I think has over 25 different unions that we manage and work with on negotiations and what that benefit plans look like. But yeah, it's very real. They're in place for, all the right reasons. And it it's interesting to see how it evolves over time and like the what becomes important like from different negotiation like timelines over contracts
Hmm.
because you'll find right these like really kind of weird rules or like
Yeah.
aspects of it and you're kind of like how did that even come about like
Who came
things
up
that
with
we
that?
don't care about now but yeah no it's you know, I wouldn't even say it's like a love hate. It's just there. And for me, it's always been there. And I, I just take it with a grain of salt because, anything that like I think of that would like negatively impact a unit, I'm just like, I think of Doug in the back of my head, like I'm double union.
Double union. That's true. That's true. So that's interesting because it's your job and you have to think of it as in a professional manner, but then you're now at the receiving end as the spouse. So like if they take away their benefits, which as the professional part of you, you might say, yeah, that makes sense to take that away, but then you go home and you're like, well, shoot, like then now we lose that benefit. That's
Exactly.
super interesting.
It is. And it is almost never like a takeaway. Like there will be kind of like stripping back an onion, right? But
Okay.
the unions are so strong
Hmm.
that it is very difficult to negotiate something out of a contract once it's in it. And there is always like, if you were taking this, you were giving me this. So it may kind of be a little bit broader than benefits, but there's if you have a strong union, which I think that theirs is, it's difficult to change things over time.
Mm,
And I mean there's all those kind of like arbitration and like
yeah.
the this union, I mean this contract is going to go past its expiration, right? It's an interesting cycle.
Yeah. Do you ever think of moonlighting and solving all their problems? Because I bet you could do it in a day.
I'm not a great negotiator. I am like the behind the scenes person.
Hmm.
And I only know the benefits aspect where theirs is like so much larger.
I
But I definitely like whether or not Doug wants to hear my opinion on
Mhm.
something, I provide it because from an operational standpoint, like I understand how it works.
Okay,
But
that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it's funny because what I hear about, which I'm not well versed with it, right? Like my job is completely different. There's a lot of like pissing contests involved,
right.
and I just think that, you know, put somebody like you at the table and I think it would just be so much easier for them to do it.
I'll mention the moonlighting to him.
You should. I'm just saying, listen, he wants to take the overtime. Okay. You can get paid to do your
To
job.
do this, this could be my overtime.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right. He can't argue. You let him take the overtime, right? One more question for you.
Okay.
Do you have a show or a podcast or a book or something that you just, has defined you? Like you could never live without it?
So I very recently started listening to Fourth Wing.
Oh my goodness. Isn't that one of those like spicy? I love that. I read, oh, what was it called? Court of Thorns and Roses, Akatar. Did you read
Hmm.
that?
No, but I have heard of it.
Do it.
Yes, I
Do it.
will. It's on the
Yeah.
list. And
I love that.
I am not good at well, one, just reading books in general,
Okay.
but this one, this series in particular, like got recommended for my sister-in-law, for my cousin. And when I got back from visiting my cousin, I'm like, I have to like
I
listen to
have to.
this. And it's like a fantasy world with
Yeah.
dragons and like
Yeah.
so wild.
Yeah.
It's great.
So you listen to it even though it's spicy? Do you listen while you're driving or where
No.
do you?
Well, no, so, that's lie. I do sometimes listen to it when I'm driving because when I have to go to Connecticut, it's 2 hour drive.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'll just like listen to it. It's fine. But it's equal spicy and equal like setting the stage for war. So it's like you don't know like
Wow.
what is happening.
It's very up and down. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, but
I love spicy. I don't think I could listen to it because I just don't think I would be able to focus on driving. Like it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Like I can't. But that's awesome. Nice. I love this show called Fleabag. Have
oh,
you heard of it?
no.
Do you like shows? Do you watch shows?
Yeah.
Okay, this is one of my all-time favorites. It's on Amazon Prime. It's 2 seasons. They're like 6 episodes apiece. They're half an hour apiece. It's you'll fly
Oh, I'm
through it
gonna watch this.
in like 1 to 2 days. Like it will not take you long. The main character is Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I think is her name, and she's British and she was in another show that was excellent, but in a very different role. And I just loved her so much that I was like, oh, I wonder what else she's in. And I found this show and I was like, this is one of the best shows ever. It's so funny. It's dry humor. I feel like actually you should watch that with Doug.
No, that's where
I
my brain
think he
went.
would
I was
appreciate it.
like, he would love this.
Yeah.
All right,
It's very dry
Fleabag,
humor. Yeah.
Amazon Prime. I got it.
Amazon Prime. Yeah. Awesome.
Nice.
Anything else that you wanted to mention or talk about? Anything I didn't ask or that you would just love the world to know?
I think we got it all. Yeah, I think we're good. Do you feel like you have enough material?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
this has been an excellent episode. And I appreciate you and your genuine personality. And this has been awesome.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks for doing this. This is fun.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed being here as much as I did. If you have any questions for me or if you'd like to be interviewed, please reach out at thefirewivespodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Tune in next week for the next episode of Firewives.